It is NFC Conference Championship week here for Bronson Moreau as he helped lead his team by the 49ers in the divisional round after we got the first round bye, stealing it from the Eagles. So of course today I expect they want a little bit of some revenge. Now we did not play them in season, but to get to this point, it required us picking up some key wins at the end of the season. The Eagles losing a key game to the Dallas Cowboys, who got knocked out in the wild card round. Eagles then went on to face one of their rivals, and the Giants beat them 21-17, and then barely snuck by the Carolina Panthers 29-28, where we meet after just one playoff game, which was a 38-22 dominant win over the Niners. But will Bronson be able to replicate what we saw last episode? I mean, he was absolutely on fire in his first ever postseason appearance. 258 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. He completed 72% of his passes. And on top of that, he was the leading rusher of the game, coming up just 9 yards shy of 100. Now, this Eagles team, they're going to be much better than what we just played against the 49ers. Top 10 in almost every single category. We're going to need even more here from Bronson Moreau. The question we begin with is, which of the birds will be flying high today? Eagles start off on offense, and as we do for this, at least part of this series, and we get to the postseason, watching what our defense can do as the Eagles pick up a first down to A.J. Brown and an apparent turnover as we take over. Well, obviously the offense got things going very well in the last game. Defense did just as well. They look to continue that play while we look to continue ours. As we look for JSN to the outside, it is a little bit too far downfield. Though for the first play in terms of passing, looked pretty promising. We'll get a little bit of Walker, at least hopefully, going in this game. He just picks up one, leaving us 3rd and 9. Now, Moreau didn't seem to have much of any issues no matter what the down and distance was in that last game. Hopefully, we'll see some of that carry over as we'll look for Disley, who nearly gets jumped by the safety. We don't go anywhere our first drive. We will punt. But with us seeing Disley out there and a big gain here from A.J. Brown, I wonder if Fant is out of this one. He did get shaken up in that last episode. A couple gains going back and forth here for the Eagles. 3rd and 2. Can the defense get a stop? No. Cam Akers picks it up for him. Into plus territory. 12 more yards go to Vontae Smith. And from there, a sack Tyre Tart. Love to see some big plays coming from our defense. And an apparent another turnover. I really wish we got to see who did what on those kind of plays, but either way, we'll take it. Starting at the 37, it's Walker down the gut, and he once again just picks up 1. Now as for the AFC Conference Championship, you can see that down below in very true fashion. Chiefs, Bills, Chiefs just sneak by. And Moreau's going to look to scramble here. He dives at the linebacker, taking him out. It's about a gain of 5. Not exactly what we want Moreau doing, but the gain definitely will help out. Hard count for Moreau, no one jumps. Got a couple short route options. As we roll, looks to see like we might find an edge, though not gonna find complete space down the sideline. First down, those scrambles Moreau. Have to check the full season stats at the end of this one, but he very well might be the leading quarterback rusher for 2 straight seasons. As he looks to scramble here and not gonna get by the linebacker. It's a pretty decent stop. Miles Jack with the tackle, only a gain of 1, leaving 2nd and 9. We go with a tight form here. Hard count again. Still trying to get someone to jump. JSN catches this one. It's only a gain of 1 though. So far, Eagles playing very tight on pretty much every single play. Once again, we got a 3rd and long. Hard count. Still not getting anyone to jump. Got 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Couple different levels here. As Moreau looks to scramble, he tries to get to the outside. He outruns the linebacker, does not pick up a block from Lockett. Slay gets the tackle, but we'll continue this drive. Though, that will come after the break here as we send it into the 2nd quarter. Still 0-0, but we're getting about into field goal range, if not there already. Though obviously, we prefer getting touchdowns at the 32, so definitely in range. See if we can find Metcalf downfield, a little bit of some play action. Actually look for Walker here in the flat. Get at him, turn up the sideline. Down well inside the 10, marked out at the 7. Well, for Moreau, it's not necessarily a big play individually. It's a lot of yards. As we change it to an RPO here, we could go lock it, though the coverage seems pretty good. We'll hand it off for Walker, who tries to find somewhere to go. Once again, it's a gain of 1. Well, second and goal. We'll look more for a pass then. Couple different route concepts, or Moreau will just step up, vacate the middle with those 2 drags, and Moreau finds the first touchdown here of the NFC Conference Championship. But honestly, feels kind of fitting with how the way that the start of that one went. A lot more rushing success, I would say, than passing. Penalty on Montez Sweat's going to be a free 5 yards, and then a first down with Cam Akers. He started off pretty decent as well. Hurts throws it away, 2nd and 10. 11 finds a first down to Devontae Smith. 16 to Calvin Ridley, gets him down to the 24. Penalty on Runyon will back him up, 1st and 15. Knocked away Jamal Adams. 2nd and 15, 10 to A.J. Brown. It's 3rd and manageable here, but a sack from Montez Sweat forces a field goal. Eagles able to semi-answer, not in the way that they were hoping for, though. We start at the 25, looking for our next good drive here as we try to roll. Look for a quick check down. Disley shakes 1, picks up about a gain of 13. I'm just going to assume with the fact that Fant not out here in a 2 tight end set definitely means he is out of this game. Missing one of our threats, that is for sure. Pass rush, we get it out just in time for the toe tap at the sideline. Tyler Lockett, about 9.5. Honestly, not even sure how Moreau got that one out. 2nd and inches, go a little bit of a play action roll as we got DK coming across. Find him on the move. He's going to turn up, pick up an extra 5, getting him down to the 32. Of course, he was a big threat last week. Need to get him a little bit more involved, especially if he's not being covered by Slay. No one tight on Lockett, though. Safety help over the top. We'll check this one down. Ellison, though, as we check down, he gets checked upwards and brought down. Maybe protect our tight end a little bit better next time. 2nd and 6. Hard count, no one jumps. Looking for the quick slant. We find Lockett, who gets the spinning grab, getting us down to the 14. That catch and run makes it our 2nd straight red zone visit, as we'll come out with all of our tight ends to the left-hand side. One of those tight ends, though, a backup offensive lineman. Walker with the stretch cuts down immediately, and he picks up 3. The same amount of yards he had prior on 3 separate carries. The will carry us inside the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 7. I would just want to shorten this route a little bit from Smith and Jigba. Try to help get him to that back right pylon, though. Smith ends up dropping back, and we couldn't swing it out to Walker. It's a sack for Murphy Jr. Just needed to read that a little bit quicker was Moreau. 3rd and 17. Off coverage across the board here. Just have to find a little angle, as that was a risky one we should not have thrown. It's another pick, and Maddox finds a little bit of space around the edge. Actually, check that. Edmonds, he gets the pick. Eagles take over at the 23. So it definitely hasn't been as clean of a game as it was last week. Akers breaks off another nice run. Thrown away by Hurts. He hasn't had a fantastic start, but neither quarterback really has. Couple nice grabs. Goddard then Brown. First down rush goes Jalen Hurts, getting him down to the 35. 26 inside the 10. 1st and goal thrown away by Jalen Hurts. They're trying to take a lead here before half as they get down to the 1. Defense forces a 4th down, in which they will settle for the field goal. But as there's basically no time left, we will jump through halftime, get ourselves into the opening of the 3rd quarter, where we start at the 25. Moreau still trying to get some cheap yardage there, as it's another blitz that hits home. Johnson drops Moreau, loss of 8, leaving us with a 2nd and 18. Hard count still not helping us out at all. As pass rush is forming, Moreau will roll. He finds Ellison, who's going to pick up those lost yardage, +2. We are still sitting a little bit behind the chains here. 3rd and 8. We'll come out with 2 to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. Just need to find a soft spot, or maybe if we could get some blocking. Dana there in about 0.2 seconds, and it's an immediate stop for the Eagles defense. So really, it's just been a good start for us. Since then, not much. Both defenses clamping down on this one as our defense also forces a quick stop. We'll start just shy of midfield. And this is where Moreau has to recognize that the offense, running as we've tried, hasn't been working. We'll need to adjust. As we go RPO, we get JSN to the outside. Good blocks from the receivers. He's going to pick up about a gain of 15, maybe 16. And that might just have to be the style of offense we go for in this one. Quick hitting, especially with the rush that the Eagles have gotten today. Walker on the stretch has to kind of jump over an ankle tackle. Walker a little bit slow to get up. He will get helped up by Disley and head to the bench. Really hope he's able to come back in. For now, Charbonnet steps in, 2nd and 7. We do have some press coverage along the outside here. Maybe look for a shot play then, especially with all of our deep amount of receivers that we have. DK, he gets the step. It's lofted out. We find him, and that is a big strike touchdown. Finally, we get one since our first or second drive of the game. Get ourselves back on top with a safer margin. And if the defense can find our getting another good stop, then maybe we could grow it. Well, right now it's not too good. 27 and then a penalty. 9 adds on. Cam Akers are already down to the 24. Make it inside the 15. Calvin Ridley a gain of 12. 7 back to Akers, goes down to the 5. First down, touchdown even, as it's a very quick answer, but they fail the 2-point try. We'll stay up due to that. But good news as the offense does head back out. Walker out there. That is great as he takes the stretch. Back to just getting a gain of 1. 6 carries, 9 yards. Definitely has not been his game, but we need to find a way to take over this game. That is for sure. As we look to set up a couple different slant routes, instead Moreau will rush, sliding down awkwardly. He runs into a couple knees, but picks up the first. And with that running game from Moreau, maybe to help open up the passing game, as they do go back to a little bit of some press. DK once again with a step. It was a very weak double move, but he's got some space. Not going to outrun the safety. Touchdown saving tackle, but we're down to the 4. Surprisingly, it's the deep shots that have actually opened up the offense rather than us switching to those quick hitters. Maybe just having that mixed in has semi-opened some things up. As once again we roll, we've got DK finding the window under pressure. We extend this lead. Now, do we consider going for 2 here? Guess it's going to depend on what the OC decides. And in a boring way, they decide to just tack on the 1. I was trying to go up a touchdown and a field goal. The Eagles, though, they're still down a good bit. Needing to answer off strong here as we get into the 4th quarter. Their last drive, very good. This one a little bit more methodical. About 7.5, now closer to 7 minutes left. 21-12 as they gain 12, finding their tight end inside the red zone. Another run from Cam Akers. Jalen Hurts makes it 1st and goal. And Gainwell just will get 2. 2nd and goal at the 6, knocked away by Ballard. I want to say that's a rookie. And then down to the goal line. Do they go for it on 4th? No, they settle for that field goal, leaving them still down by 6. With our offense headed back out, under 6 minutes left, we could try to start draining a little bit of some clock here, though. The running game, have to give Walker some credit, though. Shaking off that big boy, not easy. Get back to the line. But at this point, I would like to get a little bit more than just back to the line, as we are not up by a full touchdown. We need at least a field goal. As Moreau scrambles, sliding down, making it 3rd and 3. Trying to play these as safe as possible. Got a couple stop routes to the outside, though don't trust it. Pass rush again, coming around the edge, so stepping up down the middle. Moreau just taking the simple plays here, getting it done with his legs. Hard count, still not able to get anyone to jump. There goes DK, getting a little bit of some space. We'll check it down to him, and he will push forward, picking up a 1st down. And honestly, I feel like if we are going to run the ball, it needs to be more to the outside. The middle of this defensive line is just too good. So checking out of the run we initially had called, we've got Disley across the middle. That's going to be a nice chunk gain, around 25 or so, getting us down to the 28. Passing game was a little bit slow early on, but starting to open up here in the 2nd half. Hard count, still Moreau not giving up on it. DK with some space, keeps him in bounds, and it's another touchdown pass to DK Metcalf. This time putting us up safely, 2 scores, about 2 minutes left. But this is when we'll finally get the call to go for 2. We got a bunch to the right-hand side, Disley to the left. Walker is going to leak out as well, as we'll go right back to DK. He completes the 8-point play. Make it 29-15. And essentially at this point, Eagles have to double their score to find the win. They have to do it inside 2 minutes left, as Ridley just able to pick up 5. They do have 3 timeouts. Ridley back with 13. They're going to need a little bit more than that. Goddard just with another 5 under a minute and a half. Hurts scrambles just picking up 1. 3rd and 4. They get 13 back to Ridley. Getting him inside the 30 and touchdown Devontae Smith. And they take the extra point. Now this leaves them just down 7. And they did not recover the onside. So that means we need to make sure that we get a first down here. They did not use up any of their timeouts, relying on their defense. Walker tried to truck a ghost, and we maybe shoved down Davis at the end. They're lucky that is not a penalty. But it is a gain of 3. Kenneth Walker will go back to him. Blitz does well. Only a gain of 2. Coach is calling for a run. And if it's a run you want, it's a run you will get. But I'm giving ourselves the option on it. As they do sit on the outside, Walker will run us to the Super Bowl. It was definitely not as clean of a game as the prior round divisional, but Moreau came up big in that second half. 4 total touchdowns for him. Got things done through the air and on the ground, and he did great to adjust. And after the first half that honestly both these teams had, those changes were definitely needed, and both teams improved in that second half, but we were just able to do more, got a couple good stops on defense, and our defense bailed us out of some mistakes, that's for sure. A couple bad passes there from Moreau, one did end up getting picked. Defense did end up forcing at least one of those turnovers, was an interception. Did we force any fumbles? Yeah, we had a fumble on Cam Akers too. So defense came up big. We really don't shout them out enough. So let's just run through their stats real quick to give them some credit. Draymond Jones and Mike Morris both get a TFL, and then Tyler Tart and Montez Sweat each got a sack. As for the interception, it went to Rock Ya-Sin. Forced fumble went to Derek Hall, who also recovered said fumble. As for our boy in Bronson Moreau, he was close to 300 passing. That was more than what he had in the prior game, despite having fewer amount of touchdowns in this one. 80% completion though, that was rock solid. Still, or I guess actually taking a look at there, is not going to be the leading rusher of the game, but the more efficient with his carries. Did have a touchdown and he didn't fumble, so you could argue he had a better day than Cam Akers. But for Bronson and the Seahawks, we will have a week of a breather as the Pro Bowl week comes. Then we head to Super Bowl week, where the Kansas City Chiefs have made it. So that should be a good matchup. Bronson Moreau versus Patrick Mahomes, who we were going back and forth with for having the best stats last season. Haven't checked those again this season, but we will come the end of the game next episode. So don't miss it. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right, or scroll down, hit the sub button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you are notified, as Friday will be Super Bowl day. If you want to see some more playoffs, stay tuned for tomorrow, where the Marylavania States Only Challenge heads to the AFC Conference Championship to see if they too can make a Super Bowl run in their final season. We'll see you next time as Bronson Moreau looks for the first in his very young career.